All right, welcome to our second class. To double check the microphone today. So we're going to start in a comfortable seat. So any way that's comfortable for you to sit so that you can extend your spine up as straight as you can. So simple cross-legged position. If you need to sit like this on your feet, you can, or you can sit with your legs out in front of you. That's fine. The goal is to have the spine sitting up as straight as you can. So I don't want you to be like this. I want you to be comfortable and in a seated position so that you can roll the shoulders back and lengthen your spine like somebody's pulling your hair up. So let's roll those shoulders back. When you find your seated position, roll those shoulders back. I told you we would be doing this a lot. So we're trying to get those shoulder blades kind of flat and down your back. So see if you can get the shoulders back and down. And so finding your core, so think about pulling your abdominals in or your belly button in, and then think about lifting up your ribs so you're sitting up straight like somebody's pulling your hair up. And shoulders back, abdominals in, ribs lifted. Now your next inhale, we're going to take the palms facing out. So like anatomical position, remember we talked about that. So palms facing forward or out eventually. So with the shoulders forward, we can't take the palms out because it's in a weird position, right? So when we get the shoulders back and down, then we can turn the palms forward and out to the side easier. So it's harder to get the palms out with the shoulders forward. So shoulders back and down, palms out, inhale, reach your arms out and up. So when you do this, think about sitting up straighter, lengthening up straighter, lift your abdominal or pull your abdominals in and lift your ribs, drop your shoulders, and your exhale, lower arms out and down. Continue. Move at your own breath pattern. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, lower arms down. And then we'll move our head. So as you inhale, lift your chin as you reach arms up. As you exhale, lower arms down. Drop your chin back to the chest. Do maybe two more. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to lower and kind of relax. One more. And release those arms down. Good. Shake it out. So you may feel a little tension here, so you can kind of shake out whatever you need to shake out and loosen up. So let's bring hands to heart center. And we'll set an intention. So when we set an intention, it's something I want you to set for yourself. So it can be a prayer, it can be a mantra, it can be a phrase, it can be a word, it can be a person you want to send a little extra TLC to. Whatever it is you want to set for yourself. So hands to your heart, set that intention from your heart, from your joy, from your love, from your life, your passions. Deep breath in. And release your arms down. Inhale, we'll reach arms back up. Let's grab your right. So now I will be mirroring you. So I will be doing my left when you do your right. So reach your right arm up and over to your left. So you want to feel a stretch down your right side waist. Inhale, come back up through center. And this helps you to re-lengthen as you reset to the center. Grab your left and up and over to your right. So now you're stretching your left side waist. Inhale, come back up through center, re-lengthen, reset to the middle. And now we're going to drop your left hand down. Drop that shoulder. We tend to hike it up. Kind of walk the fingers out a little bit. Drop that left shoulder. Reach right arm up and over. So now we're going to lengthen more through the right side waist. Stretch it out. Right side waist. See if you can drop that shoulder, drop the elbow. And come up to the center, re-lengthen, reset, inhale, lift, and over to your right. Drop that shoulder, kind of walk those fingers out. Think about lengthening, reach your left arm up and over. Keep dropping that elbow, drop that shoulder. You want to lift the hip up of the side you're stretching. So try to push that sit bone back down to the mat. So don't let it lift, push it back down. Your next inhale, come back up through center, re-lengthen, reset, inhale. And now let's do an easy twist to your left. So we're going to take your left arm behind you. Your right arm can be on your right knee, can be in between on your left. So when we twist, we're going to focus on lifting our ribs, abdominals pull in, lift ribs. we twist through the belly. So twist through your belly, drop your shoulders down, lift ribs, and just kind of look to your... Now I have to get back into the habit of being opposite sides, so it takes a little practice. So just look to the side, drop your shoulders, and think about sitting up tall and straight still. Slowly, slowly untwist. Come back up through center. We're going to re-lengthen, reset back to the middle, and now twist to your right. So your right arm goes behind you. Your left arm can be wherever you'd like. Lift the ribs by pulling your abdominals in. Lift, drop shoulders, and then you twist to your right. So keep thinking, abdominals in, ribs lift, shoulders drop, and twist. We're focused on twisting through the belly. We're not trying to turn the head as far as we can. We're just lengthening our spine and twisting. Easy twist, not trying to get too deep. Slowly, slowly untwist. Inhale to re-lengthen, reset back to the center, and release your arms down. Okay, now we're going to find tabletop. So you can flip over this way, or you can take your feet to the side and flip around. We're going to be in a tabletop position where you're on your hands and knees. So I'm going to show you from the side, but you can stay facing this way. So from the side, you're going to align your wrists under shoulders. So right under, and so the wrists will be shoulder distance, and the knees will be under the hips. So hip distance and right under the knees. So we're going to, like we talked about in the first class, spread your fingers wide, put weight in the base of the first two fingers, base of the thumb, and roll the shoulders back. So this is tabletop. So you're making a square shape to the ground, and so your spine should be parallel to the ground, and then your arms and legs should be parallel to each other. So this is tabletop. Now from tabletop, we're going to do what we call cat and cow. So you're going to pull your abdominals in. So you're going to squeeze in. And when we do that, I want you to think about pulling your tailbone under this way. So pull the abdominals in, kind of pull the tailbone towards the ground. And then for the upper back, we're going to spread those shoulder blades apart. And this is called cat, kind of like a scaredy Halloween cat. So now let's drop the head. And so we're making a curve, a C shape from our head, the top of the head, cervical spine, thoracic, lumbar, down to the sacral. So we're making a C curve shape upwards. And then release. So that is your cat. Now we're going to go the opposite direction. We're going to do cow. So cow, we're going to keep your abdominals in. So we're not just going to push the ribs out. Keep your abdominals engaged. We're going to lift our sit bones up. We're going to roll the shoulders back. And we're going to think about pulling the chest forward as we lift our chin. Don't push the ribs out, so keep those abdominals engaged. So you're not trying to see how much you can curve the low back. We're actually trying to see if you can curve the upper back more. So pull those shoulder blades down your back, push your heart out, lift your chin, and then go back up into cat. So let's move with our breath here in cat. You're going to think about squeezing your abdominals in and see how much you can pull the tailbone under. Really squeeze it in. Shoulder blades are rolling. Don't hike your shoulders up to ears. Keep them away from ears. Drop your head. And then release. Go to cow. Remember to keep abdominals engaged. Lift sit bones, shoulders back, lift head. One more time. Exhale to cat. Inhale, cow. One more time in cat. So when I do cat, I really try to squeeze as much air out as I can. I exhale and really try to squeeze my abdominals in, kind of like I'm wringing out a sponge. So really engage your abdominals. Kind of hard to talk and do this. And now let's sit back to our first child's pose. So you know from our last class, you can have your knees wherever you like, your feet wherever you like, your arms wherever you like. And just focus on breathing and resting and relaxing. Take one more breath here. And let's find our plank position from the child's pose. So I'm just going to turn back to face you. So wrists under shoulders again, shoulder width apart. Finding that straight line from your head to your feet. Let's do a few plank flows. Inhale, you can inhale to plank. Exhale, down dog. Watch your shoulders, watch your alignment of the spine, watch your knees. So you know from your out of class assignment, and maybe you've done it already, we're trying to lengthen the spine. You don't have to push your heels down. Knees be soft, fingers spread wide. Let's do one more down dog. And then find standing forward fold. You can do a combination of walking feet forward and hands back. Take the weight into your feet. And let's see if we can shift our weight forward and back from the front to the backs of our feet. Knees are slightly bent or more, bent more if you need to, if you feel this more in your back. Drop your heavy head, lengthen your spine, lift your sit bones. You want to feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Inhale, flat back. Lengthen out your back. So you're trying to, I'm just going to show you from the side. You're going to try to make a straight line from your head to your hips. When you see yourself in the mirror, you can make adjustments. You can film yourself doing these classes and notice your alignment. On your exhale, fold. Inhale to flat back and hold here. And then when we come up, use those hamstrings and those glutes to pull you up with that straight spine. Reach arms all the way up and lower arms down. Shake it out. Good. So now we started from our seat. So we hopefully have got a little bit more mobility through the spine. Let's inhale, reach arms up. Drop those shoulders. Let's find our first chair, sitting hips back. So look down and make sure you can see all your toes. And maybe try to spread them out. Spread all the piggies out. And see if you can set them down. Drop your shoulders and spread your fingers out. Straight arms. Let's lift right heel and switch left heel. And down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower arms. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, chair. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, chair. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower arms. Shake it out if you need to. Inhale, reach arms back up. Exhale, chair. Right heel. And then lift the whole foot up. Find your balance. Now we're going to take your right leg back to warrior three. Let's take your hands on your hips, making sure you keep your right hip level with your left so it's not lifted up. Extend that right leg straight back, trying to find that straight line. You don't have to be parallel to the ground. And we're going to take your right leg straight back behind you. So if you need to make adjustments, you can. So we're going to do what's called high lunge here. So in high lunge, I want you to look down to your left knee. Your left knee, I want it directly over your ankle. And then I want your left ankle, your knee, and your hip joint aligned. So if we start from here, you go straight back, there should have been no change, right? So when we start from anatomical position, you can stay back wherever you are. Think about your right foot is on the right track, your left foot is on the left track. So when you step back, your right foot should still be on the right track, and left is still on the left track. So we're not trying to put them on the same, we're not trying to be on a tightrope. So let's look back and make sure that your right ankle, knee, and hip are still lined up. So your right foot should still be on the right track. And then, of course, your hip's not moving, but we want to try to keep the ankle, knee joint, and hip joint all in one line. All right, so now your hip, I don't want that hip far behind the left. So just like warrior three, I want that right hip joint lined up with the left. And I want your right heel to be lifted. So we're not pushing the heel down. We're keeping that heel lifted. So I'll show you from the side. So the heel should be lifted, knee over ankle, straight leg. And then make adjustments as you need. And now we're going to reach our arms up to the sky. Drop your shoulders down. And now let's pay attention to our core. So with the leg behind you, you're going to feel the stretch here in the hip flexor. So if your hip flexor is tight, you're going to want to arch that low back. So I want you to pull your core muscles in. So pull those ribs in. And notice how you may feel more of a stretch there in that right hip flexor. It's right in here, right in that joint, crosses that joint area there. So abdominals pull in. You're pushing back into that right heel, left knees over ankle. Hips are what I call square forward. So think about your hips are a square shape. Not that they're separate, but the right side is even with the left. Reach arms up. Let's take it back to warrior three. Right leg lifts. And bring it in, shake it out. We spend a lot of time on that left leg with that left leg in front. So just try to shake it out. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, chair. Left heel lifts. Get that good stretch through the plantar fascia. And lift the whole foot up. And then take it back. Take your hands, palpate and feel where those hip joints are, the ASIS. Feel that bony part. Take that left leg back. Find warrior three first. Find your balance. It's a transition, or it can be a transition, but we're also going to work on strength. Take that left leg back. And now make adjustments here. Let's look. Right knee over ankle. In line with the right track still. Right knee, ankle, and hip. And now let's look back and make sure that this is my right, so this is your left. Is to make sure the ankle, knee, and hip are on the left track. And so we got to work on balance. So that heel should be lifted, straight leg. Now let's pull those core muscles in. So we're not pushing the ribs out, we're pulling them in. Engage, pull that belly button in towards your spine. Reach arms up. Drop those shoulders and hold here. Find your balance. And breathe. So sometimes we get stressed or agitated, it's hard. So this is why we set intentions for the class. So when you start thinking about something else, bring yourself back to the intention you set for yourself. Let's take one more breath here. So hopefully we get even this side compared to the other. And then take it back to warrior three, lifting that leg up, straight line, and bring it in. Shake it out. All right, so now we've done high lunge and warrior three. So let's reach arms up. Let's go into our standing forward fold position. So we're going to lift up, lengthen, come up, out, over, and down. Drop your heavy head. Lift your sit bones. Try to lengthen your spine. Think about somebody pulling you down. And shake your head out. Shake it no. So shake it yes or not yes. Bend your knees more if you need to. Take a deep breath in and out. Maybe a big exhale out. Try not to breathe into the microphone. Shake, let that heavy head fall. Do one more breath here. Then inhale, flat back. And I'm going to turn back to face you again. Now let's find your plank. Let's step back to that plank position. And then we're going to drop to, well, let's start from the knees. So drop to the knees where you have a straight line from your head to your knees. So you have a straight line. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do modified push-ups. I'm going to turn back to face you. Constantly turning. So what we're going to do now is going to keep our core engaged. We're going to lower down and push back up. So you can start with taking your elbows out to the side, but eventually I want you to be able to take the elbows by your side. And then when you come down, I want you to keep the belly off the ground. Take your chest towards the ground and push up. So we're going to work on getting stronger with the upper body. So this is what I don't want you to do. That, or if you need to start here, you can. Eventually, I want you to be able to go straight down and push back up. All right. And now go all the way down to your belly. And once you wipe it out, it should feel good. And now let's extend those legs straight back behind you. Bring the hands by the chest. Lift your butt first. Push back to child's pose. And breathe here. Taking deep breaths to relax. Take one more breath here. And now let's find plank position. Exhale, down dog. And maybe a few plank flows. Inhale, exhale. See if you can lift your sit bones up higher to the sky. Each time you go back, one more. And forward fold. Bring the weight into your feet, shifting weight forward and back. From the front to the backs of your feet. Taking the weight into your feet, inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Hold here on your exhale. Your next inhale, rise up with that straight back. Reach arms all the way up and release arms back down. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, chair. Right heel, right foot. Warrior three. Hips level to the ground. High lunge. And this is our crescent lunge is what some people call it, or high lunge. The heel is lifted, the hips are square forward, left knee over ankle. Reach arms up, drop shoulders, pull core in, feel the stretch in your hip flexor, and hold. Arms are straight and strong, reaching up so they can be straight here or here. So this time let's move with our breath. So we're going to inhale, straighten that leg. Exhale, lower arms. Inhale, we're moving, so it makes it a little bit harder to balance. But it's also fun. Inhale and exhale. So think about using your core. Just focus on all the things. We have two for alignment. Let's do two. And one more. Inhale. And hold. Next, exhale, warrior three. And chair. Drop it back down into that chair. Also wonderful chair. Left heel. Left foot. Warrior three. Taking that leg back. Find that straight line. Hips square to the ground. High lunge. So find the alignment. Right track, left track. Heel lifted. Hips square forward. Abdominals in. Reach arms up. Shoulders down. Core engaged. Arms straight and strong. And now let's move. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, bend and lower. You can go slower if you need to go faster. That's fine. Just move with your breath. I'm cueing to give you some guidance. But make sure that you make this your practice. You honor your body. But if you're not doing anything, I'm going to ask you, why aren't you doing that? Since I'm grading you on attendance and participation, you're going to have to give me a reason, right? Inhale, and this time hold. So right knee over ankle. Make sure that you didn't take this out of alignment. So bring that left hip back forward. Push back into the left heel, but make sure it's off the ground. Arms reach up. Take it back to warrior three. And chair. Finding that foot beside the other. Make sure that sometimes we get tired and we tend to not think about everything. So make sure you're pulling the core in. You're pushing your hips back. Your knees aren't going past your toes. Your arms are up, shoulders down. Breathe. Hold 3, 2, and forward fold. Let out a big sigh. Shake your head out. Breathe. See if you can shift a little bit more weight forward in your feet. Even let your heavy head fall a little bit more. When we repeat stretches, we get more more extension in the muscles. So see if you have a little bit more range of motion here in your stretch. One more breath here. Your next inhale, find flat back. To re-lengthen, reset that spine. Exhale, fold, plank. So you can start in modified, or you can do full plank position for the push-ups here. So if you want, you can be here or here. And give me 5 push-ups. It's just 5, that's all. That's all I'm asking for. Elbows can go out. Eventually I want you to be able to bring the elbows by your side. Use your core, keep your abdominals engaged. and off the ground. I think that was 5. Let's go all the way down to our belly. Windshield wipers. Ah, I'm getting wrapped up. And let's extend those legs back. All right, we're going to take the hands by the chest, lift your butt first, go back to child's pose. And breathe. Rest here. Your next 2 breaths, see if you can breathe so deep that your low back moves as you take that big inhale. Last time we talked about belly breathing, where you inhale, so you stay in child's pose, or you inhale so much that your belly moves. So this time, see if you can expand the thoracic cavity so much that your low back moves. So think about expanding your thoracic cavity, which is where your lungs are encased in, forward, to the side, and back. So you can think about it as, see how much air you can stretch into your lungs. Let's do one more breath here. And let's inhale to tabletop. Let's do another cat and cow before we go to our, so we can go to our seat next. But let's try to see if you can engage, really pull in, suck in your belly. Just pull that tailbone under, shoulder blades. Think about spreading your shoulder blades apart as much as you can too. But don't hike your shoulders up to ears. So you're dropping head, you're dropping tailbone, and you're rounding your spine up. And then we'll go the other way. So I know I said in forward fold, I don't want you to round your spine. We're trying to work on elongating. But here we're supporting our spine on our hands and knees. And we're engaging our abdominals. So we're not putting more strain through the back. So it's a less force transmission through the back muscles. All right, and mic adjustment there. So now let's see if we can do a cow. Roll the shoulders back. See if you can pull the heart. Think about pulling your heart, your chest forward. Keep your abdominals engaged as you lift your tailbone up. And then a child's pose. So a child's pose, we're resting the spine here. You should feel a good release through the back. All right, now let's find our seat. So I'm going to show you from the side again. So generally you can stay facing forward or towards the camera. You shouldn't have to be flip-flopping around like me, like a fish out of water. So we're going to be sitting on your sit bones. We're going to lengthen your spine so you have a straight spine. We're going to reach arms forward. You can reach up if you'd like, but it just makes it harder. So when you reach your arms up, you're increasing the lever lengths. So this will be easier. This will be level 1, 2, or 3 kind of. So we're going to engage our core, lift our ribs, and then we're going to pull the core in just like we did with cat. So we're going to pull our abdominals in. You can hold on to your legs if you need to. And then we're going to roll all the way down onto our back. So pull the belly in really tight as you roll all the way down. That should feel like could have been a good stretch in the back. Now let's reach the arms overhead. You can't see me. We're going to reach the arms up. We're going to pull the belly in and start to just kind of take your head off, your shoulders off like you're peeling off the ground. So you can stay here. See if you can pull your belly in, your abdominals in. You may need to hold on to your legs to pull you all the way back up and reach arms up. Or you can reach forward like we talked about. So let's try that one more time. Wherever you want to put your arms, lift, pull the belly in, roll all the way down. Engage your abdominals as you come all the way down onto your back. And I'm just going to scoot so I stay in the camera view. So now on your back, let's hug. Let's start by hugging your right knee into your belly. Just hugging that in. You may feel a nice little stretch through the back. So let's just kind of rotate that foot around and go in the other direction. And then switch. Hug the opposite knee in. And just feel the stretch through the back. And you can rotate that foot around and switch. Now let's hug both knees in. Notice how this feels. So think about this like a child's pose on your back. You're basically doing the same thing. So we're giving our back a little stretch, except we're lying on our back and hugging the knees in. All right, so now we're going to do what we call recline twist. So we're going to keep our shoulders on the ground. We're going to keep our torso flat on the mat. We're going to drop the knees to one side. So make sure when we go, let's start by taking your knees I'll be the same side. So just drop the knees and get my words out. To the left, right shoulder stays on the ground. So you're going to try to keep the twist happening through the belly. The right shoulder stays down. You can take your right arm out to the right and turn your head to the right. You can keep the knee lifted. If it drops down, that's okay. If your knees don't touch, that's okay. But what I don't want you to do is have that right shoulder lift. So I want you to try to keep that right shoulder planted on the ground. And sometimes you can put something between your knees here, like a pillow or something to support this leg. I'm a little bit tighter when I twisted this side, so my knees don't touch here. So when we come out of this twist, we have to be careful because the muscles are stretched in your back. So we don't want to make them activate when they're stretched because you can pull a muscle pretty easily. So we're going to start by lifting our right leg up first and then our left. So you don't have to use your hands. I just showed that for effect. So hug your knees in and kind of rock left and right. So now we're going to twist to your other side. So you're going to take your arms out you can think about taking them out to like a T. We're going to drop our knees to the right. Our left shoulder stays on the ground. You can use this top hand to pull that top knee down if you like. You can look up to the sky or you can look to your left hand, the left shoulder. These are all options, so make sure that you make it work for your body. So option to pull the knee down, option to completely turn your head to the left. You want to make sure that you don't feel any tension through the neck. But the goal is to keep the shoulder on the ground as you twist. So if the shoulder lifts, that means you're twisting too much for your body. So if your knees are here and your shoulder lifts, you may want to maybe drop the knees closer towards your feet or where your feet would be. So you can take the knees or the feet away from your shoulder, away from your head. You can think about that way. So usually this is one of the favorite poses of people because you feel a good twist and stretch through the back. Take a deep inhale and release. And then lift one leg at a time. So you can activate and lift leg and then the other leg. Let's hug the knees in and rock left and right. All right. So now we're going to kind of just relax and stretch out the hip. Yeah, so we got plenty of time. So let's drop our right foot to the ground. We're going to take our left knee in and we're going to cross just above the ankle. We're going to cross the left lower leg over the right thigh. So level one is to use your left hand to push the left knee away from you. But you want to make sure that you're not putting your hips out of alignment. So think about keeping your right hip even with your right shoulder and left with the left shoulder. We're not torquing the hips out of place. So level 1 to push the left knee out. Level 2, maybe I can show you this way. Level 2 will be to thread the hands, grab that right thigh and pull in. You're going to feel the stretch in the left hip. You may feel it in your lower back. Then you can kind of rock left and right here. So we're pulling the right thigh in, and you can flex. You can plantar or dorsiflex depending on your body. Some people feel it more this way and more this way. But we want to feel the stretch here. You don't want to feel pain in this knee joint. So you can decrease the tension, go back to level 1 if you feel pain in that knee. And release. That's Poppy barking. She's the beagle pit, so you can hear the beagle bark. All right, so now we're going to take our Poppy, that's just a truck, baby. We're going to take a left foot to the left side, right foot to the right side with your knees bent. And we're going to do windshield wipers on your back. So drop the knees right and left. And a lot of people, I love this because I feel the stretch in my hip flexor and into my low back. You can feel the outer thigh. And sometimes people like to hold it to one side if that feels better for you. And maybe hold it other side. And windshield wiper it out this way. And then let's hug the knees back in. And now let's go with the other leg. We're going to cross the right just above the ankle. Make sure you don't push pressure on the ankle joint. So you're going to cross right lower leg over the left thigh, keeping the hips aligned with the shoulder. You can push the right knee away. Level 1. Level 2 to be to grab that left thigh. Again, make sure you don't feel pain in the knee or hip. You want to feel the stretch here in the right gluteal group. And then level 3, I can show you. You can try to use that elbow and push that right knee away as you pull the left leg in. Again, think about your hips. Try not to put the hips out of alignment. This left leg, the lower leg the foot can be flexed, so you have a 90 degree. You can have it relaxed. If you have this left leg active, it helps for you to pull it in when the left leg is active. And release. Always do the level that works for you. Don't push or don't try to make your body do something it can't do. Windshield wiper it out if I didn't say that already. A lot of times when people get injured in yoga, they're trying to make the body do something it's not ready for. It's not capable of doing just yet. So always listen to your body and never push your body to do something it's not ready for. So we practice to make our body more flexible, stronger, so we can get there. All right, let's hug the knees back in. And now we're going to relax fully into what we call corpse pose. So hugging your knees in, you're going to find a position that's comfortable for you to relax in. I'm going to turn back so you're not just looking at my head there. So let's find a position that's comfortable for you to relax in. This is different for a lot of people. So it can be you can stay with your knees bent, your feet flat. You can have, knocking my water over. You can grab a pillow and put the pillow kind of under your knees like this. So you're supported this way. You can have the legs straight out and the arms straight out. So you're corpse pose, which is the body's just completely relaxed and no effort. You're trying to get to a position where you have no effort exerted by any muscle. Some people like to be on their side. That's more comfortable for them. Any way that, whatever that works. Some people even like to be on their belly. So find a position that's comfortable for you to relax in. And I'm going to change up our music. So kind of the goal of a yoga practice is to stretch and work and get the body prepared to relax. So when we do our activities throughout the day, we build tensions throughout the body. Or if we sit a lot, we get tight in certain areas of the body. So it's not very comfortable for us to relax. So if you stretch certain parts of the body, then you can completely relax. And then you can find peace of mind much easier. Whereas if you're in pain, or if you're stressed, it's almost impossible to find peace of mind, right? So find a position where you can just let go and relax.
The world is changing. You.
So this is when you can completely relax and let go. You find peace, you find tranquility. And so this tends to be pretty difficult for many people to attain. So let's do a body scan. I'm going to scan through every part of your body and see what you can relax. So let's start with your toes and your feet. Maybe wiggle your toes and see if you can relax and let go. Let's go to your lower legs. Notice if you have tension there, if you can release. Then go to your thighs, inner, outer thighs, your quads and hamstrings. And see how heavy you can let your legs be. Just let those legs fall heavy into the mat. Let's go to your hands. Wiggle your fingers, your forearms, upper arms. And see how heavy you can let your arms be. You can make adjustments if you need. Just try to let those arms be heavy and let them melt into the mat. Let's go to your face, your forehead, your eyes, mouth, and jaw. See how deeply you can let go of any tension in your face and let it relax. Think about softening your face. Now bring your awareness to your breath. Notice the breath coming in through the nose, down your throat, and into your lungs. And then when you exhale, allow the air to pass out from your lungs your throat, and out your nose. And notice how light your breath is compared to the heaviness of your body. And let's begin to take deeper breaths in and deeper breaths out. And start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And then you can start to maybe do wrist rolls or ankle rolls. And then take your time to reach arms overhead and stretch your body out. When you're ready, hug your knees into your belly. Kind of like the child's pose on your back. You can rock left and right a few times. When you're ready, roll to a side that's most comfortable for you. It can be to the right or to the left, and just kind of hang out there on your side for a little bit. However's comfortable, just kind of in this fetal position. And just think about preparing yourself to come up, back up to your seat. When you're ready, push yourself up. And then find that comfortable seated position again. So roll the shoulders back. Finding that tall spine, use your abdominals to lift the ribs, take the shoulders back and down. Let's take ear to shoulder. Make sure you're not tilting your whole body over. It's easy to do. Drop your chin down to your chest. Roll the shoulders back. Make sure you're not bringing the shoulders forward when you drop your chin down. And then take opposite ear to shoulder. Just noticing tension or if you're tilting your body. And drop your chin down. Roll the shoulders back. Bring your hands back to heart center. And tune into the intention you set for yourself at the beginning of class. The intention from your heart, your joys, your love, your laughter, and share that with the world. Namaste. That's our second class. All right. Bye.